everyone. Hope you're ready to do some crafting. Apologies for being a little late today, but that's what happens when you have to work Saturday mornings. And of course, being the long weekend, I needed to do a little bit of shopping. I'm just going to try and get myself up on the page. They've moved everything around, so I'm not sure where anything is at the minute. So we'll just see if I can still find all the bits and pieces. So let me just see. I'm pretty sure I'm live on my business page because that's where I was expecting to go. Let me just see if I can find it and hopefully share it to the event. I'm not sure if I can do that. It's all a learning curve to me, I'm afraid, but hopefully we've got a few of you that can jump on and join and create with me today. Okay, well, I know that I'm there. Let's see if I can share it to a group. So, to an event. As I said, I haven't done it this way before, so it's going to all be very, very interesting. Let's see if we can share it in here. Sorry guys, it's just trying to do something a little bit different. There we go. Hopefully that means, oh good, there you found me, Alison. Lovely. I'm pleased that I'm not talking to myself. So hopefully I've shared it to the event page so that those that are going to the event can find it. And hope everyone's having a wonderful weekend. I know quite a few of us are in quarantine and in lockdown and all of those gorgeous things again. But let's hope we can see some light at the end of the tunnel. And if nothing else, being World Card Making Day, at least we can have a little bit of joy in our lives today. And hopefully we can share some with some friends next week so that anything that you make today, you might like to post out to a friend next week for World Card Sending Week. Okay, so I'm going to try and flip the camera up without finishing the live. Let's see how I go because, as I said, haven't done one for a little while, so we'll see how we go, okay? Sorry, you'll get a view of the ceiling. Okay, so there's my kit there. Hopefully it's in focus and we can actually see it. And more to the point, hopefully my video equipment doesn't fall down because it seems to be having a moment today. So let's just hope that I'm in enough. Let's come out a little bit. You just have to see the leg today. Sorry, guys. But at least that way you can see what's happening and we will go from there. Okay, so now that I've done all of that, I've got to find myself again because I've shared everything. So, okay, there I am. Okay, lovely. I can see my box, so I'm going well. I know that I'm in shot. Okay, so I have opened it. Obviously, the plastic is gone. So this is our current global paper pumpkin kit. It's not a kit that we regularly get in Australia. The US gets it as a subscription service, but we don't here in Australia. But they do release 2 to 3 kits globally a year so that other countries can get access to the paper pumpkin kit. So this is the Expressions in Colour, which goes with the Expressions in Ink suite of products in the annual catalogue. And I did make some of these last week. So it comes with 2 Stampin' Spots. So let's just have a look and see what's in there. So you've got Evening Evergreen and Bumblebee in spots. Absolutely fantastic, these little spots. You can fantastic for using with your Stamparatus where you don't want a large ink pad. You've got some dimensionals and glue dots and some little sequins in here, as well as some twine. So I'm just going to get out the sequins and the twine. I very rarely use the glue dots and the dimensionals in the kit. Not that they're not fantastic, but I tend to use them for my classes by mail so that I can send them to other people to be able to create something. So this is the stamp set. I'm not sure how well you can see that. Maybe if I put it on the white. So you've got a background colour splotch, which will artistically fill in the flower. You've got a couple of other little flowers, a little sprig, and some lovely little sentiments. So you are amazing. Thanks for everything. Sending hugs, many, and congratulations. So it's a nice little stamp set. As I said, I did some of the cards the other day. It actually comes with some instructions. Love their instructions for this because it actually shows each card and it shows the little dots here as to whether they're glue dots or dimensionals and where you place them, which is very handy for a beginner stamper. It also, on this one, shows all the pieces that you need for each card. So there's 3 different cards in this kit and you're making 9 cards. And then it also gives you a picture of what's in the kit itself and a couple of other little ideas for those to create with. Okay, and then you see gorgeous cards on the front. So that's the instructions, always useful, always helpful. So these are the cards. As I said, I put together these last week at my club day. I have a social day every month. Hi Karen, great you could join me. Karen would have seen these at our club day last month. Last week? Was it only last week or was it the week before? The days are all blending together. But I have one every month. And so this is the little envelope that it comes with, and it's a cute little evening evergreen card. They do come white inside, but you can actually add extra cardstock in to be able to make the inserts a little bit more detailed. So, pardon me, frog in my throat because I've been talking all morning at the shop as well. So this is the thanks for everything. So you've got a cute little vellum thanks and some of the sequins and for everything stamped on a little banner. So that's card number 1. Card number 2 is a bumblebee card, as in bumblebee in colour, and it has these gorgeous leaves and some of the twine and a congratulations banner sentiment for that one. So that's card 2, and it's a portrait one, and this one's a landscape. Okay, and then our last one has got to be my favourite one, of course, because everyone knows how much I love purple. So this one is the alcohol ink look on the card front. It's got a plain back on Fresh Freesia, which is my all-time favourite ink colour, I think. And then it's got this lovely vellum overlay with the flowers actually printed on it, some little rhinestones and a nice "You Are Amazing," and again a little bit of twine. So that's card number 3. So in your kit, it all comes. You also get a little flyer which tells you that it coordinates perfectly with this gorgeous Expressions in Ink paper. So you can have a look at the annual catalogue to see that, or you can head to my website at wendyhodkinson.stampinup.net and head to the shop, and you can not only look at those gorgeous coordinating products, you can purchase the kit and you can purchase the products from the annual catalogue. So it comes with envelopes in the different sizes, and everything comes packaged on a board so that it protects it in transit. Okay, so I am going to just make one of each of the cards today in the Facebook Live. I may, however, finish the others in my Zoom, which is due to be on at 4, because I wanted to do something a little bit different today and give people a couple of different options. So the Facebook Live, you can just see what I'm doing. But then in the Zoom that I'm hoping to do around 4-ish, we'll be able to see each other's faces and have a little chat as well, and you can ask more questions and I'll be able to see you face to face and answer them. Hi Tamara, great to see you on too. How's that darling Carla? So looking forward to Snuggles next week. Are you busting open your bouquet of hope? Fantastic. I do love that one. Love the instructions for it as well. It's very similar in that it shows you where the glue dots go and where the dimensionals go, and it just makes life so much easier when they do that for us. Okay, so I'll just pop these up out of the way just so that I can lose my twine, just so I can get things organized. So there's envelopes. Okay, because as I said, I'm going to make one of each card, so I'm going to just have a little bit of a look-see at what I need for that. So I'm going to need a bumblebee base. I'm going to need one of these white pieces. I'm going to need an evening evergreen. I'm going to need that gorgeous faux ink, alcohol ink look. There's another, the leaves. Now, I think the leaves would have looked great on the green card, but they put them on the bumblebee one, so that's fine. I've got that and that. And I need one of these bases as well. One of these with the leaves, so they're already pre-printed and die cut just to make your life a lot easier. These are great to take with you if you're going camping or somewhere that, you know, you haven't got a lot of space to create and you don't want to have to take everything, because you really the other thing that these don't have is a block, and they recommend the size D block. So really that's the only other thing, that and a pair of scissors, that you're going to need to be able to create these cards. So that's this. I'm just putting all my other stuff out of the way because you know me, I have to clean up as I go. Otherwise, I end up making a big mess everywhere and I just don't craft well. They are gorgeous, Tamara. Kit is still available at the moment while supplies last. So I think it's going to be very popular. So I wouldn't leave it too long if you're planning on getting it. Now, with these, I'm just going to very carefully take them out of their the card that they're cut out of. So I would have loved to have all of this prepared for you earlier, and that would have been fine if I had not had to work and then go and do a little bit of shopping. I had planned on having all of these bits ready to go so that I would just be putting the cards together, but that was not to be today. And, you know, it's all about crafting on World Card Making Day. Oh. And of course, I'm all fingers and thumbs today. It doesn't matter how many of these I do, I'm always nervous every single time. So I'm just so pleased that I've got some friends here with me, keeping me company while I do this. Okay, so get the pink one out. So what I generally do with any of these kits, and I know Megan, I think you were going to try and craft along with this kit. What I try to do is I try to get all of these bits and pieces out so that they're ready to go, and I sort them so that they are with the cards that they go with. And that way I just find it a much easier experience if I've managed to put everything together with the cards or the projects that they go with. So last one. I do love this paper. I know it has gone on to back order before. I'm not sure if it's back at the minute, but even I bought 2 packs of this, and you girls know how much Designer Series paper I don't use. Well, I ended up getting 2 packs of this paper, coordinating expressions in ink paper. Just have to grab out my, Dixie's been helping me this week. So everything's not quite where it's meant to go. You've got to love school holidays and having the grandies. Although this week we didn't do a lot. We actually made some bracelets this week instead of doing card making. We were going to do something with the Cheers one with the butterflies, but we got busy actually watching making it and The Masked Singer of all things. So we've been busy doing that. Now I must admit, I do not, with everything else I do those, but I don't take these ones out of their backing. I just find it that little bit easier to leave them in there. Okay, so I'm just going to stamp some of these now. I'm actually just going to do the same words. So I'm going to line these up on my blocks. I'm going to go that way for the congratulations. I'll see if You Are Amazing will fit on there. Yes, it will. Because I just brought over a couple of different blocks. So I thought I'll stamp them onto here. One thing I did forget to grab is the large ink pads, because I don't end up using the spots. I tend to use them for something else as well. So I'll just quickly go and grab my inks. Okay, sorry about that. Oh gosh, bashed myself up, ran straight into the camera. Let's see if I can get it back in its position. It's going to have one of those moments on me now that I've actually moved it. Sorry guys. Let's hope it doesn't fall on me, because I literally head rammed it. So anyway, never mind. It's all good. Sorry to make you seasick. So, hi Virginia, great I could catch up with you today too. So looking forward to the possibility of Lake Keep It. Let's see if we go ahead. All systems go at the moment, and I'll be putting up a couple of classes for that over the course of the weekend. Hi Elizabeth, great to see you too. Miss being able to craft with you at camps as well. Oh good, I have all sorts of problems with all sorts of things. And everything is, I'm keeping it real. Nobody's perfect. So, that's, yeah, and I use the Stampin' Spots with my Stamparatus too tomorrow, but I tend to double up on some colours. So some of them I keep and I use, and others of them I actually use as little hostess gifts when I have people hosting a workshop. Okay, so let's do the Bumblebee. I'm going to do the congratulations because it's down here next to me facing the right way. So I'm just going to ink up my stamp, and I will stand up for this and try not to run into you all again. And I can't talk and stamp at the same time. I need to concentrate. Now I have got my silicone mat underneath because I'm doing it on with photopolymer stamps. The other thing that you can use that is recommended is our paper piercing mat, and I do have one of those here, which, the silicone mat was on top, so I just grabbed it. Just clean that off. Then I'm going to turn it around so that I can do the You Are Amazing, which is actually done in the Bumblebee as well. So I find it easier to actually stand up and stamp my images, particularly when I'm doing a live, but I do find it easier as well to leave them in their little sheets. So that's what I've done with those. Now I just need to do the For Everything, which I'll just take the congratulations off. I'm sorry if I'm out of shot, but you don't need to see how I put a stamp on a block. I don't think that's terribly interesting. So I tend to, although I will show you what I do with mine, I do tend to lie them flat so that they are relaxed and they're not going to move around everywhere. And I've got my washi tape on to help me peel off my rubber stamps, and they don't have to be straight on the block. You can put them whichever direction you like and whichever works for you. So I'm going to have that. I'm just going to ink that up and hope that I don't go off the end, because it is very, very snug on this one. So if you're not happy with that, you could always use a different stamp set, if you have a different stamp set, and just do a smaller word, because I do find that that just fits on the banner that they've given us. So I'm just going to put the stamp, I always put mine back on the sheet, and I always keep the other sheet that they had with them. They aren't doing them now. They will do in Paper Pumpkin. It'll come with a little carrier sheet on the top. But in our other photopolymer stamp sets, they're actually printing the images on the case so that you've actually got them ready to use on the case. So that's that. And then you might be thinking, well, where's the Evening Evergreen? It's actually stamped onto this panel. Okay, so I'm going to use the larger grouping of flowers. So I'll just put them down there. And this other little flower, I'm just going to put it onto that block. Put that out of the way. Put those over there for the minute. I'll get this one out and show you. Now, this is just me. You can put grid paper on it. I tend to just leave the plastic on my sheet when I'm stamping, because 9 times out of 10, I'm not stamping over the edge. And I can always wipe that off with a chamois or a wet one and do that. So I'll just show you how I do that one. So I'm going to do this particular one up that way. And it does show you on your instructions. This is why I love these kits, because they're just so easy. It shows you in your step-by-step, it shows you that you're going to use these 2 stamps, and you're going to use the green ink pad, you're going to stamp them here, and then it shows you how to put all the other pieces together. I did them off the instructions the other week, and so I am literally just following along from my card that I've got sitting beside me to know what I'm doing. So a lot of people have had trouble with these, and if you push on the lid near the dots, it does open it slightly, particularly if they're new, and I always pull them apart, slide and click into place. Now this one is a new one, and it is really, really hard. As you can see, I've already got inky fingers. This is why my team is known as the Inky Digits, because ink everywhere. But a quick little tip with your ink pads, I've just got a chapstick. So just a lip balm, doesn't have to be anything special. I just wind it up a little bit because I always wind them back down. And what I do is I just run the lip balm along the white edge of each side of the ink pad. Okay? Wind that back down out of the way, put it out of the way so I don't do anything drastic. And then I push it and I open it a few times, and you will see that that just glides, and it makes it so much easier to open your ink pad. So there's another little tip for you for today. Okay, so I'm just going to stamp my green flowers, and according to the instructions, you do one about there. I'm being very technical here. And then you do one up the top here, like that. So I am re-inking each time, and then you just do one towards the bottom. Okay, so that's that. Clean off my stamp because you all know how anal I am about that. And I'm going to do my little flower, and it's just, yep, about there. You can see I'm being extremely technical. And I'm going to have another one over here, and I'm going to have another one about there. Yep, that looks fine. So I don't have to be too particular. So I have gone over the edge a little bit. So I'll just grab my chamois and I just wipe over so that I don't get it on the back of my card. I just found that that was easier for me personally, but you can of course do it and just have some grid paper on it, so that's not going to be a problem. Okay. Oh, hi Steffi, good to see you too. I'm just going back and reading through some comments. I'll quickly try and keep up with everyone. Yeah, definitely before removing the labels from the sheet is much easier, Tamara. Stamping straight on labels. The other thing, Karen, is I tend to make sure I stand up so I'm standing over it. And I also put my, if I'm trying to do a word in particular, I try and put the word diagonally across the block because I find the beveled edges do actually distort the image and it makes it harder to see where it is. And sometimes it's a little bit easier to use a block that's slightly larger so that you've got that option when you're stamping your sentiments. So hopefully that will help you with that. You've done your 3 green ones. Good work. I'm going slow. Sorry, Megan. But that's the whole point, is it's just to have a bit of fun, and hopefully some of the tips will be useful. Great, Megan. I'll look forward to seeing yours sharing. Hi, Nan from Dixie. Okay, so it's Dixie watching me do cards. Sorry we missed doing them this week, Dix. I'm sure there'll be more times, darling. Okay, we'll do our butterflies another time. Okay, so this one, and then I need to, I'm going to pop these words out so that they're ready to go, because I know that all my words require dimensionals, and we all know that I love dimensionals. Sometimes I'm known as the dimensional queen, so, you know, there's always dimensionals. I tend to use my own, and I'm using the large and the small ones for this today. So I'm going to put 4 on this one. I know it says to put them in the middle, but I'm putting them on either side because I actually want to put them over the actual twine that's on that card. This one here I found a little bit hard to do in the middle, so I'm going to just do 1 on each end for that one, so it will go over this part in the center. And the for everything, big dimensionals are not going to cut it for this one, so I'm using the mini dimensionals. And I'm just going to grab my silicone craft sheet because white on white is so hard to see where your edges are. Love this thing, only $10, and it's one of the best things I ever bought, you know, for so many different reasons. It is fantastic. Okay, so we need our green base. There was a bone folder in there. There it is. I was going to say it's hiding. So I'm just going to use my bone folder to crease my card. And I know I told you to put everything together that goes with everything. Well, guess what I didn't do? I just shoved it all in a pile beside me. So, okay, so in our sheet, we've got our thanks. And you've also got thanks in French, which is merci. And you've got danke, which I believe is Dutch. So correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm sure one of you will know. So if you wanted to send them to an overseas friend, you could certainly do that. Yeah, I'm sure LJ will love the purple ones, Megan. I'm just taking all of these bits out as well, because that goes with that card. So my thanks. And on the instructions, I loved how they showed you exactly where to put the dimensionals and the glue dots on your thanks. So it shows you need 3 and that's where you need to put them. I just thought that was so helpful because you're not wanting to put it everywhere. So glue dots, let's put them there. My take your pick tool. I need the other one. I've got 2 now because I lost one and then I found it again. So I'm just going to pick up a glue dot off there and put it onto my S. Okay, stay. I'm going to do one which is about there on my N, and then the next one goes at the bottom of the A. So that's all my glue dots on. Okay, and I'm just going to put this onto here. So it's very technical. You just need to line it up and hope that it's straight. That looks pretty straight, I reckon. That's going to be now. I'm going to get my for everything and I'm just going to take the back off my dimensionals. Okay, and you'll notice I've got marker on the back of them. That's so I can see when I've taken the backing off the dimensional. Another great tip I picked up from another demonstrator. So, and I must admit, I do have a pair of tweezers because we all need tweezers. Let's face it. Nobody's perfect at putting anything on. So I'm going to put for everything, and then I'm going to do my sequins. So when you're getting these off the sheet, just make sure that you're actually taking off the backing as well, because they are self-adhesive. So if you fold the sheet, you'll be able to get them off more easily. And just going to put a few of these around this card. Don't know whether that one's got any adhesive on it. We'll soon see. No, it doesn't. Bonus one. Must have stuck to something. Okay. Now, they do say that you don't need anything else. Oh, look, you're going there, obviously. They do say you don't need anything else with this, because you can put it on with glue dots. But I must admit, I always seem to use something myself. So you can use Tombow glue. I know Megan won't be. Going well, Megan, if you're getting them on straight, that's great. So I'm just going to use my Stampin' Seal Plus and just put some of that on. I'll just do that corner, because I'm always worried that the corners are going to not stay on. Okay. And sometimes it's easier to actually try and lie the card flat than it is to try and put it on a folded card base. You just got to try and line it up as best you can. That is so not perfect, but it will do. There we go. So there's card number 1. Oh, German. Thanks, Karen. I knew somebody would know. And yes, I do love my take your pick. And yet, I'm good with take 2, Megan. I think that's a great idea. And I tend to use something a little bit more on the base. But for something quick and simple, I think the glue dots and the dimensionals work quite well for the kids. Okay, so I'll put that away and we'll go on to card number 2. Okay, so it's the bumblebee one. So I'll just fold my card base. As I said, I've got all my different bits together. Now, in our instructions, it's got this gorgeous leaf vellum printed overlay, and that actually goes onto your card. But what they show you in the instructions for that one is that you need to put your glue dots in a little diamond shape around the center, because you don't want it to be seen through the vellum. So again, I'll just get my take your pick tool. I don't begrudge having 2 of them, because I've got one set up with dies and my pokey tool. I've got the other one set up with my putty end and my spatula. And it also comes with ball tools for scoring. So, you know, there's lots of different tools. The brush is a separate add-on and comes with mats as well. So, and you can get extra putty heads for it. So when they run out, you can get replacements. So absolutely fantastic. Love, love, love it. Don't mind having 2 of them, because I use both of them for different things and they're there ready to go then. Okay, so I've put my little dots on. Then I just need to line up my vellum. That looks about the middle, and push that down. So that's that. It also says for the yellow one that you need 12 inches of twine, or 30.5 centimetres. So the good part about this is that it's got centimetres on one side and inches on the other. So you can choose whether you want to do inches or centimetres. It really does not matter. So that's 9, and you can measure it on here. 9, and I need another 3, so that takes that back to 6. So that's about there. Of course, I put my good scissors away that I use for cutting my twine. Okay, so that's that. And I know I'm going to need some for this other card as well, so I may as well cut it while I'm out. So it says 26 inches. So 3 9s are 26, 4 9s are 26. No. Oh gosh. Anyway, 3 6s are 18, 4 6s are 24. So that's not going to work. Let's just do this. 9 and 9 is 18. What did they say? 26. 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. That's going to be what I do. Near enough was good enough today. Okay, so put that over there. This one, now I absolutely detest trying to do these twiny bits, okay? I find them so hard, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a bit of the Stampin' Seal Plus on the back there, and I'm going to fold my twine into 3. As I said, I'm being very, very technical today. So yeah, that's about 3. Not quite. Close but no cigar, as they say. That's close. And I need it to go that way. So I'm just going to stick it onto the back there. So it's going to look like that. Okay. So I'll sit that aside. I don't think it really matters which one of these goes where. Although I did see that the pink and the green actually have a large section. So I figured they needed to be on the bottom. So, you know, I'll go with that. So I'm just going to put a glue dot on the back of my pink. Oh, look, I've missed a bit of pulling things out. Yep. Just check you've got all your pieces out. And I'm not necessarily going to do it the same as they've said this time. I'm just going to do it. So I might do it this way this time. And I'm going to do that about the middle. And then I'm going to do the green panel. Come here. Put a glue dot on the back of that in the middle. Or you could use tape or wet glue. Yeah, 4 9s are 36, as I said. Been a long day. So, but it was 26, so, you know, that's why I was getting myself so confused. So I think I'll do that one that way. And then I just need one for the purple one in the centre. So I'm going to put that on there because this one is a little bit skinnier. And I just want it to go maybe that way. Maybe that way. Something like that. Let's go that way. Oh, look. It never seems to want to go where I want it to. So let's go there. That'll do. Okay. Then I'm going to take the backing off my dimensionals on here. And I just found it easier than trying to fight with the twine. You can put the twine on and actually stick it to the glue dot that's on the top or there or somewhere and do it that way. But I've decided to do it this way. And then I'm just going to put my congratulations across the card and hope that it's straight and hope that my twine's doing all the things it's supposed to be doing. Gorgeous stuff that it is. And there we go. That's the bumblebee card. So that's that one. Okay, I'm going to move on to the purple ones. Yeah, I'm hoping you get a better sleep tonight too, Megan, and that reaction's not too bad for you. Okay. So then the last one I'll do is this one here. And the first thing you need to do is try... Oh, look, my day is going so well. There's a knot in the twine. I don't know, Elizabeth, maybe you jinxed me. Everything that could go wrong seems to be today. Anyway, I do know that I need to have the twine around the card a couple of times. And I need to have enough left to tie a bow. Okay, so just adjust that a little bit. Now the other thing that I tend to do when I'm doing anything like this with this twine, which is just so easy to maneuver and everything. We all know how much I love twine and things like that. I tend to loop one of the pieces underneath the original strand, and I put my tweezers over the knot, and that way that gives me two hands then to tie a bow, particularly when you haven't got a lot of extra twine to do it with. A lot of the time when I do these, I do them and they're still on the spool rather than cutting them, and that probably would have been the safer way to do it. But I'm never sure whether I'm going to have extra, like extra for the kits, extra twine and extra things. So I tend to go with the measurements of the kit itself. So let's just make it look harder than it really needs to be today. Any other time, you all know that everyone else gets me to tie their bows, but guess what? It's going to be a knot today because I'm not going to fight with it now. Okay, so there's that. And then I need to put some glue dots on my flower, and it's going to go on there like that, and then you're going to have You Are Amazing. So the idea is when you do your glue dots for your flower, and it will show you in the instructions roughly where to put them. I'm going to put 3 on, but I'm going to sort of gauge where I'm putting my flower, so I know roughly where I'm going to put the glue dot so that it's going to be hidden by the sentiment piece. I might do one in the middle there. Okay, so I'm going to do one in the middle of the flower there. Go there. A little bit harder to get them to stick to vellum. They love sticking to my nails more than they like sticking to the vellum. As I said, it's one of those days today, but we're just going to keep persevering. Okay, so I'm going to put my flower about there. Okay, so I've got my glue dots on the back of that so that it's staying where it's supposed to. I'll take the backing off my dimensionals. Okay. And then I'm going to put the sentiment just there. If I feel like fighting with it later, I will have another attack at the bow, but for the moment, that's how I'm doing that one. And then it's also got some of the sequins on it. I don't think I put sequins on the other pink one, did I? I didn't put sequins on it. Oh, goodness me. Right, well, we better do 2 lots of sequins then. We'll do some up the top here. And if you pull them off the glue dot backing, don't stress, just put them back on and they'll stick back on. So I'll use my pokey tool, I think, to get them up this time. There's another one, and we'll do one over here near my sentiment. So there's that one there. So that's the 2 of the purple ones. One with a cute little bow and one with a knot. So if you're not into bows, you can certainly do a knot on them. And I don't think I managed to put my sequins on either of my yellow ones, so I'd better do both of them. So let's put some on. So we'll put some up the top. Now you can move these around wherever you like. They do have some options for where to place them on your instructions, but you certainly don't have to follow that, and you can of course change up the cards any way you like. So I'll just put some more on this one as well. So put a couple down that side and a couple up the top. Now when you're putting these on, of course, you know that you should put odd numbers is what they say. So yeah, that's why I'm doing 5, and that's what they say in the thing. As I said, I'm just making them up, but you can certainly change them up however you want them to be. You don't have to follow the instructions, and that's one of the best things, is that you can do them however you want them. So there's that one. There's that one. Let's find my other little green ones. And there's those ones there. So those are the cards from the Expressions in Colour kit. So I just wanted to pop on with the Facebook Live first up and show you those. Firstly, I'm just putting stuff away because you know me, I can't work in mess. It annoys me. So I'm just going to tidy my bits and pieces up out of the way. So as I said, that's the Paper Pumpkin kit. And you can head to my website and purchase that if you're interested in that. I'm happy to answer any questions about any of it. I'm hoping even numbers, well, yeah, I know, but it doesn't really matter. They just say the rule of thirds, and when they're doing the creating that, they like to do odd things because it's supposed to be more pleasing to the eye. But seriously, it's a personal preference. If you want to do even numbers, you do whichever you like. It doesn't really matter. So we'll just see how we go with it all. So that's basically the Facebook Live for today. I'm going to log out of this one because I'm actually going to then head over and log into Zoom and do a little bit more creating, and hopefully you'll pop on over and join me there and be able to do some creating with me, and we can talk face to face. It's a little bit more where we can interact a little bit more. So I'm hoping you'll pop over and join me for that. It is so much prettier in person, Elizabeth. It really is. I just love the whole thing. And don't forget, once you've got the stamp set, you can use it with the other products that are in the catalogue that coordinate, that are very similar to these. Thanks, Alison. I'm pleased you enjoyed it too. So as I said, yeah, I'm going to pop on over and start the Zoom meeting. So come back and head over there and join me. So the link for the Zoom meeting is in the event. So on my business page, Wendy Hodkinson, Stampin' Up! Independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, where you're watching this video, if you're watching it in the event, which is the World Card Making Day event, the Zoom invitation is in that event. So all you need to do is go in there and click on that link, and it should take you to Zoom. If you haven't already got Zoom, it will prompt you to download that. And you can join with video or not with video, although we'd love to see your smiling face, and we'll be able to have a bit more of a chat and have a little bit more informal get together for a little while this afternoon. So thanks so much for joining me. Thanks, Tamara. Hopefully I'll get to see you a little bit more too. And if you don't join me on Zoom, that's fine. I'm just so happy that I had so many people come and join me, and hopefully get a chance to be inspired and create something with this gorgeous set. Okay, thanks everyone. I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.